All right, here we go. Oops.
Oh, I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show is Let Us Water the New Ambien and what it really means when they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and how are people getting a hold of these ghost guns, and would you like flies with that? You heard me right. All this and much, much more will be discussed here on DeaconLive. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you feeling okay? Are you getting through this whole cold snap plus the COVID and the Omicron and all the other bullshit stuff that you're having to deal with and they're throwing at you? I hope you're doing all right. I'm doing okay. I just got back from the dentist's office. My insurance plan between my wife and I think we get like 6 or 7 cleanings between the two of us throughout the year. So I usually get about 4 because I've had the most work done, and she gets the whatever's left over on the account. And I went today and I had my, they do the cleanings, they do the x-rays, I think twice a year or something like that. And they do the x-rays, and they're not as bad as they used to be, the x-rays. Man, I remember they used to take this thing, cardboard, as big as a business card, and shove it in your mouth and then try to bend it and stuff, and it would poke the top of your roof of your mouth. No, this is just a little plastic plate that they put in your mouth. And, eat. Took less than 5 minutes. So I had my x-rays done. They did my cleaning and everything. And this is the part I love. This is the part I love because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not very religious as far as brushing my teeth all the time. I know you're like, oh, that's gross. That's gross. Well, I mean, come on. Sometimes you brush it before bed. Sometimes you brush it in the morning. Sometimes you brush it in the middle of the day. As long as you're getting your teeth brushed, you're getting your teeth brushed, I guess is what I'm saying. But sometimes I'll go to bed without brushing my teeth, wake up, and then go ahead and start my day. And then halfway through the day, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't brush my teeth. And then you don't want to brush your teeth because you're in the middle of getting ready to have lunch or getting ready to have dinner or something like that. I'll brush them tomorrow, that type deal. Now, if they feel a little like, cruddy on them, I'll run a toothbrush or something over. But what I'm getting at is I'm not, by the clock, brush them in the morning, brush them at night, brush them in the evening time type person. My wife, she has got the Invisalign things that you put in. So every time she takes them out, she eats, she's got to brush her teeth and put them back in. So I have been neglecting my dental hygiene habits. But here's the best part. So I get in there and I lay back in the chair. How you been? Anything new? I'm like, no, nothing's new. All right, then they start scraping, and they do the gum prick and make sure that your gums are healthy and all this stuff. Oh, your teeth look good. Nothing's really changed. Everything kind of looks the same, but everything looks really, really good. You had a little bleeding on this side, but that just real small, wasn't anything major. Your teeth look really, really good. Keep doing what you're doing. And I'm like, great, I will. Thank you very much. Get my little free bag of Sensodyne toothpaste and a couple toothbrushes and all that stuff, and I'm out the door. See you later. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to say it's a gimmick. I don't want to say toothpaste and all that stuff, all the oral hygiene stuff is a gimmick in itself. I think we can not stress so much about it and still maintain, a good oral hygiene. Now, I am at a certain age. I've gotten this far in life with doing this. Well, we spent a lot of money on getting some of my teeth fixed. I had problems and stuff that I had as a child growing up through my adolescence and stuff with braces, and it never got repaired. So we spent a lot of money getting that fixed. So now I guess I'm supposed to keep everything nice and clean and everything, but I'm good. Everything's good. We're all good here on the French. And for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We sit on about 22 some odd acres. We have outside animals. We have inside animals. We have horses. We have cattle. We have agriculture. We got a lot of shit going on here on the property in what we call a French. We call it a French because it's part farm, part ranch, so we call it a French. Now, with the pandemic and the chain supplies being disrupted and prices are going up, I've seen a couple TikTok videos where they were doing price changes with, something was $2.79 and they're changing it out to $4.24. The price changes are out there, and I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to feel it myself here on the property. And when I say that is, now those of you out there who's been listening to Deacon Live at any length of time, you understand that I like to drink Miller Lite. Miller Lite, a case of Miller Lite right now, it's probably floating around $18, $19, depending on, what side of the town you're living on. And when I was, buying it on a regular basis, it was like 14, maybe $15. If it got near a sporting event, it would always drop down. In the slow times, it would go back up to $15. It's sitting around $18 a case right now. So I said, you know what? Let me do some math here. And I did some math, and I'm like going, God damn, that's an extra whatever, per week, per month. I said, there's got to be something comparable to Miller Lite and still give me the same effect without getting like crazy. So I'm looking at Busch Light. I know a couple of you out there threw open your mouth a little bit. Bear with me. So I ran the numbers, and I'm all about the numbers. I'm a numbers guy. So a 12-ounce can, you ready for this? Are you guys doing math? A 12-ounce can of Miller Lite, and I'm writing this down as you can see it. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video. We're live streaming right now on Twitch, on Facebook, and on YouTube as well. And at the end of every broadcast, this video will be available on the Prophet Radio website as well. So a 12-ounce can of Miller Lite is 4.2% alcohol. A 12-ounce can of Busch Light is 4.1. I think 1.3 or something like that. All right? You with me so far? The calories in Miller Lite, you see it, it's written on the box. What is it? 96 calories. How many calories are in Busch Light? 95 calories. 95. 1 calorie different, maybe a 0.05% difference in percentage of alcohol, ABV. Now, here's where it gets really tricky. Miller Lite, I believe, has 2.9 net carbs. So if you're on the keto diet, this is probably the best thing to do. Busch Light is 3.2. 3.2, a difference of 0.3 net carbs. Busch Light, you still with me? Busch Light is $14 a case. Miller Lite is $18 to $19. You're talking a, $4 to $5 swing when choosing something that almost equivalently on paperwork is the same. It's the same product. Then you start paying for all the advertisement. You start paying for those big Miller Lite arenas and Miller Lite sports centers. You don't see the Busch Light sports centers. You see Busch Light on NASCAR. You see Busch Light on anything that has to have 4 wheels on it, dirt and engine and grease. That's where you see Busch Light. You see Miller Lite on everything else. Anything that's a little, pinky up in the air. I drink my can with my pinky up in the air like I'm toting tea. So I don't want to say I've downgraded. I've taken a sidestep, and I'm enjoying the Busch Light, by the way. Just enjoying it. Gets me where I need to be. It doesn't hurt my pocketbook too much anymore. So that's where I'm at, and that's where I stand. If you have any questions or anything you want to get, let me know during this podcast as we're live streaming. You go over to Prophet Radio. There's a little blue bar on the very bottom of the page that says Be Heard. Click on that. Opens up a microphone on whatever you're listening to us at, and you can leave us a voice message, and we can play it on this podcast. Or if you're listening back to this podcast, you can still ask any questions about any podcasts that we've done here in the past and the future intense as well. All right, guys, we've got a big show to get into, and we're going to talk to IT Dan about some stuff he's got going on. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking commercials, Jesus. All right, one more. All right. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the social contacts. And while you're there, get yourself some free stuff. Fill out the little form there. Believe me, I'm not going to do anything with your email address. I got enough shit going on. I don't need to spam you or do anything like that. I just like to say thank you for listening to us or downloading us and sharing us and being part of the show. And we'll send you out some stickers, some magnets. We got some little cool buttons you can put on your backpacks or on your lapel if you'd like to do that. Just fill out the little form so we know where to mail them. Now, all this weather, we had a nor'easter. I know I'm a Florida boy, born and raised, and we live here in Charlotte now, and I know the Florida people out there are like freaking out. Everything's getting cold. Everyone's freezing. It gets below 60 degrees. You're breaking out your parka. Meanwhile, I'm up here in North Carolina, still got the sand in my blood from Florida, but I wear shorts with a long sleeve shirt still when it gets up here in the 60s. But recently we've gotten into 20s. It was 27 this morning, and that's the way the weather's going around here right now. And people are, Ponsonating Phil, 6 more weeks of winter, and all the stuff that you compound on top of that. Now, this woman right here, CBS News reporter, decided to do something. And I guarantee you're going to see this a little bit more often in your workplace. And now this just happened to be on CBS 58 I don't know where 58 is, in Milwaukee. The meteorologist had a little special guest with her. And if you want to see this video for every podcast we do, we have a matching streaming video on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Make sure you like and subscribe there. You can see this anytime when it comes up. And when the broadcast is done, you can see this in full content on the Prophet Radio website. So here we go. Here she is.
Warm and cozy inside. And we know Rebecca is, Mike.
Yes, she is. My goodness, she's got a little companion with her tonight. Yes, before she gets us ready for weather, or before she gets Fiona ready for a feeding, yes. She gets us ready for tonight's forecast.
So she looks like she's a new mom. The baby's probably 4, 5, 6 months old, enough to have, it can hold its own head up, I guess is what it is. And she's got her own little blanket on, and she's standing in front of the green screen, giving her weather report with her daughter on her hip.
Well, one thing I know when I was on maternity leave, if you're watching the noon show, there's a chance you're also watching the 4 o'clock. That's what I was doing anyway. And I promised a cameo from Fiona on Facebook Live, and then she fell asleep. So I want to make good on that by at least showing her off now. So she's prepared. She's got one of her good thick blankies here for that cold weather that's coming up tonight. So I thought she could help me with tonight's first weather, which is going to be pretty unpleasant, right? Yeah, she's fairly indifferent about this forecast. So
anyway, she's doing the weather report with the baby on her hip, and I guarantee you, with everyone working at home, you're going to see a lot more. Unless you've already started seeing it now. Let me turn her down a little bit. I know she's messing with the baby's head. That baby doesn't want to be on camera. It doesn't know that it's on camera. It just doesn't want to be in mom's hip. But you can see this a little bit more. Now, when I say babies, I'm talking about can't walk yet, can crawl a little bit, still needs, mama's care to take care of them. And you're going to see that on your Zoom meetings. I'm sure you've seen it a million times. Well, this lady took it just a little bit further. And let's see, Rebecca Schuld, S-H-U-L, I'm sorry, S-H-S-C-H. I'm going to figure out what letters mean. S-C-H-U-L-D, her 13-week-old baby. So it's 3 months old. And you can tell. And she brought her in the studio. Now, what do you do? I mean, is it a workplace hazard to have your little 3-month-old baby there sitting in the newsroom? Now, granted, she's not driving a forklift around or anything like that. But still, I mean, that could be kind of hazardous to a baby. Loud noises, or some people will go, oh, my God, you're bringing your kid into the workplace, and there's people smoke and people do all this other stuff, and there's bad chemicals. You should have your baby do this. Shut up. It's your baby. You can do what you want under the legal limit or legal law of what you can do. Now, speaking of legal law, there is a big crime spree going on right now. When I say crime spree, crime itself is on the rise. And it's not because of anything that we're doing as far as pandemic-wise. It's because of technology. Now, I'm not talking about ransomware. I'm not talking about stealing your ID or your identification or anything like that. They are what they're calling ghost guns are being made and released into the public, into the common community. For more on this, let's listen to this story right here.
Of gun violence plaguing America's cities. Illegal guns are a big part of the problem, especially ghost guns that can be easily purchased with no background checks. CBS's Jeff Begays has an exclusive interview with the top federal official in charge of getting those guns off our streets.
Dion, it's Houston Police. Let's do this. God.
If you're looking for a reason why crime is spiking,
Keep hands back and see him. What are you doing?
Jesus.
The ATF says unregistered and untraceable homemade weapons are key. So-called ghost guns can be made on a 3D printer. This is a ghost gun. We're going to try it out. It's something that you can produce on a printer that costs less than $200. Earl Griffith,
There you go.
an ATF firearms officer, says a small conversion device like this one can turn a legal semi-automatic handgun into an illegal machine gun. How many rounds a minute was that?
So that was about 30 rounds.
30 rounds.
Yes.
So you essentially emptied the clip.
Emptied the magazine of 33 rounds. Yeah.
Conversion parts are so easy to make that we watched as this 3D printer assembled one in about 45 minutes. Marvin Richardson is the acting director of the ATF. How have ghost guns complicated the job of ATF agents?
You can buy a box of firearms parts and you can assemble those firearms together. And I've seen videos on YouTube where you can see people doing it in record time, 20, 23 minutes.
Last year, police in Chicago seized over 400 ghost guns. New York, over 200.
Jesus.
Richardson says so-called trigger pullers, criminals, and gang members using guns are well known to law enforcement.
So what we've learned is that those people that we go after have an average of 8 arrests prior to us having that contact with them.
8 arrests.
And in many instances, 8 violent criminal arrests.
Why'd it get to 8?
And Jeff Begays joins us now with more of his excellent reporting. So, Jeff, these ghost guns, obviously a big problem, but they're not the only reason for the spike in crime, right?
Well, that's right. If you talk to law enforcement, they'll tell you it's the court system at times shutting down because of the pandemic. In some cases, it's a revolving door. They arrest the suspects, and the suspects get right back out on the streets.
Jeff, thank you.
They get lost in the cracks. I mean, that's what's happening out there. So be careful out there. With the ghost guns, I think they should do, it's kind of like when you go to a library and you check out certain books like Mein Kampf or any of these other books, you get red flagged. If you start downloading different because you have to download a program to actually do the 3D printer, that it throws out a red flag out there. Now, I understand you say, well, government shouldn't be looking in what we're downloading and all the, programs or any kind of, pictures to a certain point, because you start diving into the child pornography thing. But when you start downloading like schematics and stuff for a pipe bomb, when you start downloading schematics to how to build something on 3D printer, those are the flags that I want to happen. I want those to fly up in the air, and I want them to fly really high up in the air. Again, and what's the trade-off? So I download an illegal episode of The Simpsons or something like that. Are they going to bust me? No. If they want to carry it out, fine, no problem. But, I mean, there's got to be something in place, and the internet is still new, and the 3D printers are even newer than that. They don't know how to regulate, or haven't figured out a way to regulate this, and how can we keep this from happening? Now, these two guys, I wish we could keep these two guys from happening. It's the Island Boys, and here's a picture of them right here, all the way from South Florida. Jackasses. The Florida home, but here's some good news. Hopefully this will stifle them a little bit. The Florida home of the Island Boys was a scene of a police raid that led to arrest of a fatal drive-by shooting of an 8-year-old girl. The Palm Beach County Sheriff Office tells us that the SWAT team executed a search warrant on Monday at the property rented by the TikToker star Alex and Frankie Venegas. I'm going with the Island Boys. Neither was arrested, but the cops nabbed an apparent associate of theirs, murder suspect Andrew James Thomas. According to the police, Alex was home during the raid, and there's the mugshot of Andrew James Thomas. Police said that Alex told them that Thomas ran toward him in the hallway while holding a black gun with an extended magazine when the SWAT knocked down their door. Alex claims Thomas tried to get him to hide the gun, but he refused. No, man, I'm an island boy. You can't, I don't hide guns. I'm an island boy. Alex told the officers he saw Thomas run into the laundry room and return without the gun. Police said they found the gun inside the laundry room closet. All right, so he squealed. The Island Boys have squealed on this guy, which they should. They should, but I mean, the code of the street, are they supposed to squeal on someone like that? I mean, I don't know how that works in that community. Yeah, how far do you go? I mean, here's the SWAT busting down your door and arresting someone that actually shot an 8-year-old girl accidentally, I'm sure a stray bullet, but still in a drive-by shooting. So there you go. Island Boys house get raided, and I don't know, man. They're hanging around the wrong type of people. All right, guys, when we come back, I hang around the wrong type of person sometimes, and that person is IT Dan, and we're just kidding about that. And he had a whole mouthful to tell me on this week's episode. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Whoops. What'd I do? What'd I do? Did I do anything? I don't know. Make sure I didn't mess anything up. Come back. I hang around the wrong type of person. Oh, there we go. All right, so we're fine. You ready? Welcome back to Deacon Live. Where am I at? Nope. Stop. I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. Sorry. I know. I'll get it right one time. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks. And if you want something for free, of course you do. Everyone wants something for free. Go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the free swag section. Fill out a little form there, a little email address. And believe me, I'm not going to spam you or anything like that. I just want to send you out some magnets and stickers and stuff to say thank you for listening to us and downloading us and subscribing to us as well. Now, I do several podcasts. Let's see. Let's list them off. I do Bad Calls. Bad Calls is a segment where, excuse me, I have telemarketers call the station all the time, and I try to keep them on the phone as long as I can with whatever sob story I got going on in character voices. So that happens over there on iHeartRadio as well. I also do Equine Dynamics. My wife has horses. Like I said, we have a bunch of animals and stuff, so we have horses out here. And I have a very prestigious gentleman by the name of Mike Stein. And we do a horse talk about how to take care of your horses from the ground up. He's very skilled as far as the movement of a horse, what to look for, healthcare, and all that stuff for a horse as well. So if you're interested in the equine side of things, you can go to equinedynamics.com and you can see us there as well. And also I do Is This Going Somewhere? Now, this used to be a weekly show. We have kind of scaled back a little bit, and now it is a call-in segment on Deacon Live. So we're going to go to the phones right now and talk to IT Dan. IT Dan, who was on the show earlier, he has actually secluded himself. He is because of the Omicron and stuff, so that's the reason why he's not here in the studio anymore. But we call him on a regular basis, and this is our conversation with him on Deacon Live. And this is all, I got to fix this. So this is all off air. It's a pre-recorded segment. So we're going to go in and plug that into the broadcast. And then you guys, if you want to hear the actual full length conversation I have with IT Dan, go over to prophetradio.com. You can see that. And we'll come back. You're listening to Deacon Live. Stick around. We'll be right back. Sorry, guys. I know it's it's a one-man show here. So we're going to take another little break and come back with more stuff. That should be good. Yep. Welcome back to Deacon Live. If you have any questions or anything you want to add to the podcast, by all means, you can email me at any time at deacon@prophets.radio.com. That's deacon@prophets.radio.com. If you want to send us some pictures of what you got going on, if I've sent you out some magnets or stickers or anything like that, take a picture of it. We'll post it on our Facebook page, our fan page, and make sure you like us and subscribe to all our social contacts, anything that links us to you and you to us as well. Oh, excuse me. Now, someone who is trying to get unsubscribed is this gentleman right here. Are you familiar with Neil Young? I know he got upset with Joe Rogan, said a couple things. It's free speech, man. I mean, not for nothing. It's not false information. He has every right to say whatever he wants, whether he believes it's right, whether he believes it wrong. It's no different than when Rush Limbaugh was out there, or any of the other people out there. Glenn Beck. I know I'm talking about all the right-wing people. Hold on. I don't know. I had something going on there. Sorry. But it's no different than anything that's on talk radio, especially talk radio on the internet, because you're not regulated by anyone. You can say basically whatever you want. You know what? Like, I think all dogs should be white, and I think all cows should be brown. I think all, chickens should be orange, that type stuff. Oh, you can't do that because of the society and the grain of everything. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing behind talk radio. Now, I don't sit here and say, I know everything in the world, but I do have some knowledge on things that are going around in the local media and everything that you see on your newsfeed. And sometimes you kind of scroll by it, and that's where Deacon Live fills in the blanks. So this is what's going on. Neil Young, of course, was saying that I don't want to be on Spotify anymore because, of course, Joe Rogan said some things he doesn't agree with, the whole anti-thing. But did you hear the latest of what what Neil Young's is saying right now? Stop while you're ahead, please, Neil Young. Do me a favor. No one's listening to your music. I saw a meme the other day that showed someone saying canceling Neil Young on Spotify, and it had an old lady holding one of those brick phones and couldn't figure out how to work it because that's his audience, people with brick phones. But now Neil Young is moving to telling people to stop using banks. Stop supporting banks, he says, contributing to the mass fossil fuel destruction of the earth. Says the crusty Canuck rocker on his website, calling for people to pull out their savings from JP Morgan and Chase, Citigroup Mortgage, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, the 4 largest banks in North Carolina. Please join me and move your power and your money away from these damage causers that will unintentionally... You'll be one of them. So, okay, let me get this straight, Neil Young. Millionaire, multi-millionaire, who's probably got money. He's got mattresses upon mattresses of money sitting somewhere. And you just want me to take all my money out of everything? Where's your money coming from? Where do you hold your money? Where do you got it sitting in? Like Banco Popular? You got it down at some kind of credit union? How do you think these people get their money? They invest in these operations. They invest in, that's what America is. We invest in stuff. Now, you might not agree on all this stuff on your side of your table, on your side of the speaker or the microphone. That's fine. But this is how everything keeps moving. If Neil Young, I'm sorry, not for nothing. If you were to find out actually